Welcome to One Way TV this week. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you've had a great week. This week we have blessings in Bendigo. We have Anzac Day biscuits that you can make in the lead up to Anzac Day. And of course we've got our manipulation series. So stay tuned. Make sure you enjoy the show. Sit back, share with your friends. onewaytv.org, 7 p.m. Friday and 9 a.m. Sunday. Bye. We have some exciting news. The Bendigo Bush Dance and Music Club is back with their monthly bush dance starting in April. So the third Saturday of the month, which is the 17th of April 2021, we will be having a bush dance at the Keck Street Hall, so Holy Trinity Church and the Keck Street Hall in Keck Street, and starting at 8 p.m. Now, as per the deal last year, if you were listening on episode 26, if you mentioned that you saw the Bendigo Bush Dance Club on One Way TV, then you will be able to get a free ticket. So that applies for the first 3 bush dances, which will be the third Saturday of April, May and June. So get along to the bush dance, have some fun, and we'll show a couple snippets of some dancing, but there's no excuse for you. You don't have to be super fit, you don't have to have any kind of previous dance experience. You can learn it all. They'll teach you while you're there, so put your dancing shoes on, start tapping along to the music, and we'll see you on the 17th.
Well, hello there, and welcome to part 23 of Blessings in Bendigo. 1968, the first vine planting in Bendigo since the destruction of local vineyards by phylloxera in the 1880s begun in Kangaroo Flat by S. Anderson and in Mandarang by the Gross family. The first colour magazine supplement to appear within an Australian daily newspaper was carried by the Bendigo Advertiser, and also that year a new Coles store had opened. 1970, it was announced the Regional Agricultural Centre and Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory would be built in White Hills. 1971, the Stafford Ellenson factory opened. It was to be one of the most advanced complexes of its kind. The Royal Historical Society of Victoria put forward a suggestion that part of the Bendigo tramway and track be retained as a tourist attraction when trams ceased operating passenger services. The new 20-bed Miradong nursing wing for the blind was opened also that year. The Mount Alverina Hospital was opened. It was believed to be the first hospital in the world to have incorporated in its basic planning the air conditioning of its kitchen. And late night shopping was introduced in Bendigo, Friday nights only. 1972, tramways ceased their passenger services in April that year. Then in December, the tourist tramway was opened between the Central Deborah Gold Mine and the Joss House, and the first Dahlia and Arts Festival commenced in Eaglehawk. 1976, the Bendigo High School becomes the first senior high school in Victoria, and also Kaliana Special School was built and opened in Bendigo. Okay, that's all we have time for. We hope you join us next week for more exciting Blessings in Bendigo. Bye.
Hello, well here we are again, session 2 on manipulation. We're starting off with a little cartoon here, which will be very memorable to most people. It's got a cat, and a guy comes running in and says, "You fed the cat again? I just fed him." And the other guy says, "Well, he was acting like he was starving." And the cat's got this gleeful look on his face, "Like putty in my paws." And that's exactly what it's like with manipulation. We learn the techniques of how to manipulate others, and we use them to our advantage, but it's very unhealthy, and we don't want to get into the way of it. Manipulation, if you want a definition, is the art of getting people to do things they don't really want to. And some controlling people think, that's fine, I've got what I wanted, they're doing it. But really, you're a loser in the long term, because you have upset your relationship, you've upset the bond between you, and you don't really get away with it at all. It's really quite horrid. Manipulation. If you have a look at the screen here, it says when yes is the only answer. So you ask someone to do something and they haven't got an option to wave out of it, and they have to do it. It's subtle and underhand. It's not obvious. I've never had someone come up to me and say, "Look, I want you to do this and I'm going to manipulate you until you do it." It's never like that. It's subtle, underhand, and people have learned many, many ways of getting other people to do things that they don't want to do. It's also very difficult to recognise. It's only after I've started speaking on these things that people say, "Oh, I get it. I've been manipulated. I didn't really want to do that at all, and I felt I had to for that person. I'm not going to let that happen anymore." And they start putting boundaries around themselves so that they're not manipulated. There are key words that are used when you manipulate. Here's some of them. I felt pressured. Have you ever felt pressured by somebody, like you didn't really want to do it, but you felt like you had to? They blackmailed me. Blackmailing is when you say, "Well, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that." Husbands can be blackmailed by their wives saying, If you don't clean up the garage, you're not going to get blessed in bed tonight. Blackmail. He always pulls strings. It's feel like you're a marionette puppet and you're just being pulled this way and pulled that way. Somebody else is controlling you. He's a con man, we say. He cons people to get them to do their own way, their way. She controls people, some people say. She contrives situations. You can actually work a whole situation out so that you get the desired outcome. And people are bloodied bodies and bruised bodies all the way through to you achieve your goal and you think you've made it. But in actual fact, you've made a lot of enemies. Here's some more key words. I was railroaded. She's very persuasive. I remember I was working with a woman once and she said, I'm starting up this new program in the church and I've filled every position that we need. There's a team of about 8 that we need and I've got women in every spot about to do it and it's all working wonderfully. And I went to talk to some of these people and they didn't really want to do it. It was just this persuasive, manipulative woman who'd sort of put them into all these boxes. And when it actually all came undone, they didn't really want to. They were just doing it to please her and get her off their back, really. She's always using people. They connive all the time or scheme or plot or wangle. This is not good leadership when you have to do that to get people to do what you want. He sways my opinion. So your opinion is, no, I'm not going to do that. And you get swayed by their smooth words, smooth talking. My child makes me feel like a mean mother. Now, if you're a parent, you know what that feels like. All the other kids are doing it. Why can't I do it? You're the only one who's not letting us go to the street party. And you feel mean and so you give in. You find out later, of course, that all the other mums were the same as you. He treats people like chess pieces, pick them up and move them over there and drop them and move them over there and drop them. Doesn't matter about what their will is about it. As long as he's got everybody lined up where he wants them to go, he's happy. She's ruthless. Or I got roped in. Have you ever said that? That's manipulation. That's learning to recognize manipulation. So we now have a picture of manipulation from a lot of the words that people use. And you may have recognized now, when I've used that word, that meant I got manipulated. I recognize that. And I hope that's what you're learning to do, because that's how we're learning to uncover this very subtle, underhand word of manipulation, which often it presents itself as something else. But once you understand that manipulation, you've got it. Mentioning again this book that I wrote about manipulation that will tell you everything that you need to know about the subject. I've been studying it for years. God bless you.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you catch up with us next week where our manipulation series continues. And of course, share it with your friends, onewaytv.org, and 7 p.m. Friday, 9 a.m. Sunday. Have a great week and God bless. Bye. Ephesians 2, 8-9 says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast." From the New King James.